Hello, my angels. It's me, Lord Nicolina, and welcome back to Angel Rise, the podcast series. This is the second episode and the first full-length episode of the series. Before we begin this episode, I would like to cover a couple things. First off, I want to thank you all so much for the support on the first episode. Well, even though there wasn't that many views, that's fine with me. We're just getting started after all. We've still got a good way to go, and any support is greatly appreciated, so thank you all so much. Second, the length of each episode from here on out. I plan on having each episode no more than 15 to 20 minutes long, though occasionally I will go over that. Anyways, that's the updates I have for this week. Thanks everyone for your understanding. Now, on to this week's episode. What am I going to be talking about in this episode? Well, I'm blessed that you asked. I will be talking about my autism, which I briefly mentioned in episode 1, but will be bringing to more prominence in this episode. First, let's talk about my diagnosis. It started when I was around about 1 year old, or maybe a year and a half. I'm not sure, but during that time, I had an unusually loud voice, and I oftentimes would get mischievous, like sneaking onto computers or something like that. Man, I was a silly one back then. So it came to the conclusion. No, wait, not conclusion. And my mother was actually pretty confused as to what was causing this strange behavior that I had. And it came to the conclusion that I had autism, which to be honest, I was quite surprised by. And well, now that I'm older. But I was officially diagnosed with high-functioning autism on July 13th, 2003. High-functioning autism is also known as Asperger's syndrome. It's an autism classification where a person who has it exhibits no intellectual disability, which means they can read and write, among other things. However, they can exhibit deficits in communication, emotion recognition and expression, and even social interaction. In my case, I often communicated in a very excited or very loud tone. It's because I was excited, and I genuinely was. I wanted to get out what I knew to the people that I loved. And oftentimes, that they wouldn't get it, because they would be like, Nicolina, please keep it down. To be honest, it kind of upset me a little bit. And that's when my emotion recognition comes into play. I do have difficulty dealing with other people's emotions, if somebody is really excited, but it bugs me, then I kind of just start screaming on the inside, and sometimes I would even run away because I was so upset. This did not come without judgment, however. I was often talked to about my behavior, saying that you need to calm down, Nicolina. That's enough. But on the inside, I was like, but why? Well, why should I stop? I felt like, I was falling apart on the inside. But yet, a lot of people just didn't understand at first. At first, when I was diagnosed, my mom actually considered homeschooling me. Yeah, but the doctor who made the diagnosis said, no, Nicolina has to go to school, and she has to learn. Yeah, she has to learn how to communicate with others. When it came to school, I was a little better, but I had some pretty strange behaviors, to say the least. Even though, I did behave well, oftentimes when I was upset, sometimes, I would often, bang my fist on the desk. Or even, like, bang my head on the desk. Trust me, but if I did that now, it would honestly hurt. But I don't know much, about people saying that behavior of mine. But if they did, I'm pretty sure that that they would have recognized right away. Also, I would often put my head down and just almost feel like crying if I was ever upset. And even if it got too loud, and this was the most significant part. I would cover my ears whenever things were getting too loud, or whenever I was like in a really really bad mood. Oftentimes the behaviors would go unnoticed, but whenever they were noticed, the person who noticed, whether it was a student or a teacher, would recognize that something was wrong. One thing I would do, to calm myself down was actually to go for walks in the hallways. Oh, it started back in elementary school, and it continued its way through high school. It was a good way to calm me down, and I would oftentimes go to the water fountain to get a drink of water. Yep, and honestly, I felt it was the best way, to help me help calm my nerves and really get back into the mood. Despite all this, I still managed to make plenty of friends relatively easily at school. Yeah, but that I'll cover in a future episode. But for now, well, let's talk about some of the help I got for my autism. The first bit of help that I got for my autism was enrolling in a program called IBI. I'm not sure what that stands for, but whatever the case, it played a very significant role in helping with my autism. The main thing the program helped me out with was with my communication. But the most significant part about it was with my planning skills. I would often do planning skills by sticking a series of cards on a piece of paper or a grid. It'll basically tell me what do I do at this time, or what do I do then? And the people who helped me in the program, what can I say? they played a very significant role, and I can't thank them enough for their help. Yeah, but especially to one person, and who did help me, and of course, who I had shared interests with. Of course, I'm not going to say their name because of privacy reasons. Yeah, but still though, it's something, while I may have a short memory of, it was a very significant part in me getting help for my autism and helping with my communication skills. So to those who helped me, thank you so much. Another thing that helped me with my autism a bit was enrolling in a group called Teen Group. It was organized by the same people at the place who run on the IBI program, and it basically has a group of teenagers who have autism like me. They develop their skills like even further, like as you're getting older, and of course more specifically like in the adolescent route. And we would do all kinds of activities like often go for walks, like play in the yard, and even have some special guests over. One of my fondest memories with the teen group is going bowling at a place called Echo Bowl, and I have to admit, it was very fun. And another part of it that I really enjoyed, it was the one time where we got to handle all kinds of animals, and especially snakes. Man, I love snakes. But just so you know, sorry for any of you snake fearers out there. but still though, it was really fun. The most significant part of it, however, came in a camp called Skill Camp, which is something related to IBI and Teen Group. In this case, we learned like basic like everyday tasks like like shopping for groceries, cooking our own food, like ordering food at a restaurant by ourselves, and even going to a movie by ourselves. And honestly, if it weren't for these groups, how would I have the skills, to do the things I do today? Yeah, to be honest, I couldn't be more thankful. Outside of Skill Camp and Teen Group, however, when it comes to people I know with autism, there are not that many people that I know. Though there are a couple people of significance that I do know with autism. Though of course I'm not going to share their names because of course privacy reasons. The first one I met back in July of 2012, who is a step-cousin of mine. And of course we share a very common interest in video games and role-playing. And the second one is an online friend that I made back in November of 2020, who shares similar interests. But both of them I've developed significant relationships with. And of course they're really fun to be around. And there's one saying that's really been significant to me. People with autism are angels in disguise on Earth. That plays a very significant role in my life, because I know I am one. And I know that I can bring love and understanding to those who need it most. When it comes to being a person with autism, it makes me feel like I have some sort of superpower. Like I have an ability that most people don't have. Like the ability to understand and things that people may not understand. But in my case, like I may dislike something, that a lot of you may like. Or maybe I may like something that a lot of you may not like. But overall, having autism makes me feel like I have no regrets at all. It makes me feel like I'm one of the very few people in the world who has a very special ability. A different ability. That's all for this episode, everyone. I must get on my way now. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Angel Rise. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did making it. And if you did, feel free to leave a like on this video. And of course, feel free to share this with your loved ones. And feel free to share my story. And also, feel free to subscribe to the channel today to join the blue and white Angel Brethren today. Thank you all again so much for your support and watching this episode. And until we meet again, my name is Lord Nicolina. Be strong, stay positive, and God bless. I will see you all next week.